Oh, hey, psst, come here. It's going to be a video series on the TBS Crossfire for absolute beginners. And how do I know I'm qualified to make a video for absolute beginners? Because I've never done this before. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to consolidate all of the information that I learned from all of the different sources that I learned. I'm going to put it in one video just for you. So stick around. It's going to be fun.
Hey everybody, Steve here. Welcome to the video, possibly a video series. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to land, as this is my first venture into Crossfire. First things first, for the absolute beginners out there, what is Crossfire? Well, I certainly don't have a technical answer for you, but I'll give you a layman's, or at least my version of what Crossfire is. If you're flying or you're getting into flying, your radio is generally going to be a 2.4 gigahertz radio. Okay, that's a much higher frequency than what Crossfire works on. Crossfire works on the 900 megahertz range in the United States, the 800 megahertz range in Europe. The lower frequency allows greater penetration and greater distance, so that you can either fly further, or if you're flying in and around buildings and that sort of thing, you get greater penetration. And just to make another assumption, if you're new to the game and you're FPVing, chances are your FPV video equipment is at 5.8 gigahertz. So the deal is here that with your video at 5.8 gigahertz, you're going to run out of video long before you fail safe in your quad. That's my layman's description of the whole thing. Certainly isn't technical. I'm not technical, but you know what? If this video makes it to YouTube, chances are I was successful in my endeavor, and I've made an effort to make it easier for you. Let's see what's in the pack. All right, so TBS Crossfire, it's brought to you by Team Black Sheep, and we've got some contents here. Might as well just open it up. I've had this for a very long time. This video has been in the mix for a while, and I just never got around to it. Just because I've been busy doing other things. This is a TBS Micro, by the way. It is much smaller than the other one. I think this one maxes out at about 100 milliwatts, whereas the full-size one, I think, goes up to a full 2 watts. But before you use any of this stuff, know what the laws are in your area so that you don't get in trouble with the law. All right, so this little package came with 3 little receivers, and this little guy right here. This is if you have this guy right here, is in the event that you have a Taranis QX7 that needs the extra nonsense to make it run. And Team Black Sheep has included 2 different types of antennas as well. So we'll get to that when it's time to get to that. All right, so in the package that I got 3 of these little nano receivers, and it's about the size of half a postage stamp. It's really amazingly small. So that's kind of what that looks like right there. All right, so also included is the wire stuff and pins if you so choose to use them. So real quick, I want to show you what this is going into. This is the Holybro Kakute F7 quad that I have a full series on, if you want to check that out. And I have stolen the FR Sky RXSR, and this is going to be going into this Skyzone Dodo 120, which we're going to be doing a video on as well. So be sure to subscribe so you can see that video. All right, back to this guy right here. So seeing as how this thing is already tore apart and the board is all exposed for me to go ahead and do the soldering, I'm going to go ahead and do the soldering first. I am going to go ahead at this point and start wiring this guy up. As you can see, we've got some solder points here and here. I haven't got the foggiest idea what goes where, so I'm going to get to doing some research, and I'm going to figure it all out, and then I'm going to share it with you. Saving you time, that is what I live for here on my channel. team-blacksheep.com/tbs-crossfire-nano-quickstart.pdf. And right here, it looks like we've got everything that we need to start wiring this thing up. Obviously, I'm going to go black here, red here, and then I got to figure these 2 out right here. So what I want to do now is I want to look at the directions for what is going to be receiving these wires. And in my particular case, it's the Holybro Kakute F7. So what I'm going to do in my particular case is I'm actually going to pull up the directions for the Holly-Bro Kakute F7. This is actually the all-in-one. And what it says for all receiver types except Crossfire, blah, 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 blah. And for Crossfire, I've highlighted what my directions are right here. It says pin 1 to R6, pin 2 to T6. To an advanced user looking at this, might be painfully obvious as to what the pinouts are, but I decided to double check because to a beginner, it's not painfully obvious. So let's go ahead and look at these pinouts, and I'm going to go to Holly-Bro's Facebook page. And as you can see, here is the Crossfire Nano. The green line is 2, and the blue line is channel 1. So it is pretty obvious that 2's on the outside, 1's on the inside, then 5-volt in, and then ground. But I would much rather be safe than sorry. So here it is summarized that the channel 2 is going to go to TX6 and the channel 1 is going to go to RX6. So if you have a different flight controller, you're just going to want to find a UART on your flight controller and hook it up in a similar way. Or even better, go dig up the wiring diagram for your flight controller and hook it up as per the specific directions. First thing I'm going to do is tin everything. So just following this TBS Crossfire Nano, I've got my black, my red, and then my other two, and I'm going to go ahead and solder those to the flight controller. So what I've done here is just try to replicate my wiring diagram, which can be seen here. Black, red, then they've got blue and green. Mine's a little different, but I'm going to go ahead and replicate that on the other side now. Channel 2 going to the TX and channel 1 going to the RX, and then of course 5-volt and ground. So given that we're going to be using this antenna, and this antenna is going to snap right there, we should take a moment to try to plan how this is going to sit on the quad. The other thing that we want to absolutely make sure we do is put our heat shrink on there before we forget. Rookie mistake is to get everything put together and then realize that you didn't put your heat shrink on. All right, so still not sure exactly how this is going to shake out. This is the bottom of the quad, and I kind of fed it through this hole right here. Obviously, every frame is going to be a little bit different, but my primary goal is that the wires are going to come up on this side of the board right there. So they will eventually go to their respective homes right along here. So what I want to do is I want to keep that, all the while juggling what I want to do with the heat shrink. Probably something like this. And now I've also got to take into consideration how I want this to go. I got to get the heat shrink on there before I make this permanent, but that guy's got to go on there too. So lots to consider. You don't want to go willy-nilly hooking everything together before you think it through to make sure that you don't have to take everything apart later. Next question is how to mount the antenna without messing up everything that I've just done. Right now I am leaning on coming out this wing and going like that. As I've said many times before in this video, the benefit of watching a beginner do this is so that I can show you what not to do. Learn from my mistakes. Do not cut the heat shrink down as much as I did. So anyhow, that's why I make the videos, so that I can make the mistakes and you don't have to. Let's keep going. All right, we're flipped over and topside now, and now I'm just going to take the black, red, yellow, and white wires and wire them up according to the wiring diagram. Okay, so once again, using this diagram as my reference, I went ahead and did it for real. And here it is. Go ahead and mock my soldering. It's totally okay. This thing has probably had well over 100 flights with the old 2.4 gig RXSR. So we shall see. Okay, so this represents a good place to wrap up for now. In the next video, we are going to get into the TBS Crossfire software and get everything configured, get the firmware updated, and get it bound. Then we're going to do what we need to do in beta flight, and we should be good to go for a flight. I appreciate you watching. Once again, I'm Steve. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget that there is a link below so that you can get your own TBS Crossfire. Many more videos to come. See you next time.